I am so pumped to get this video out to you guys. You've asked for it, I've worked on it, and this is literally the perfect team. Can't wait to show it to you. What's up guys, MtgJedi here. How you doing today? Man, I am so excited to talk about this chick today. Gwyndolin has been absolutely ridiculous. So good, I cannot wait to share this with you. Briefly going over her kit, she has an A1 triple hitter buff extension, which is amazing. She has A2, one of the best abilities in the game in my opinion. Decrease speed, leech, decrease accuracy. And that decrease accuracy debuff, I've been so impressed with it. It's been so good. And then over here, the increase accuracy block debuffs ability, it's been okay, but I like the putting buffs on your team. That part is very helpful. And then the block debuffs part can be cool too. And with her, like, passive here, she is getting a lot of turns. She's getting a reasonable amount of crit damage increase. I don't have her super high accuracy in my build, but it's definitely helpful. But the extra turn thing, man, that's super powerful. So let's jump into the teams with her, and I'm going to show you my new personal best on Brutal Hydra with her in the team. Okay, so I started out with her in this first team, new team number 1 up here. And I tried to make it as accessible as possible with easy to get champions. You know, if you're working on Brutal Hydra, then like you should have a lot of these champions, right? You should have obtained Mythrala and Lydia. You've probably been playing for a little while, so you have Wukong and Newt. And, you know, if you don't have Shamail, then you can try to put like Rector Drath there, or, you know, just another cleanser, or just ignore the Fearhead altogether and put another damage dealer there. But either way, this first team is just really free to play friendly. So let me show you the results of that run. Okay, so if we take a look here, we can see that Gwyndolin did 10 million damage, Mythrala did 11 million, Lydia 9, Newt 9, Sun Wukong 7, and Shamail 11. So, like, the damage was really spread out and really even. I was surprised how little amount of damage Newt did, but this was auto, you know, and I died after maybe 100 turns or so. Like, it only ran for 19 minutes. There's no reviver in this team, so once Gwyndolin died, I think she was the first to die, then other people started going down as well, and there was no real way to recover. Putting a reviver in your team just helps, like, smooth out the RNG that can happen in Hydra, but at the same time, this was a very easy, you know, good damage free to play team. It was spread out, but you could also replace Newt with somebody else to do more damage than that. But this team has a lot of the things that we want in it, but I was not satisfied with that. So then I moved on to Team 2, okay? I think that a lot of these champions pair really well with Gwyndolin, okay? Number 1, Lydia is a crazy good pairing with her because she brings increased speed and the decreased defense and weaken, and then Gwyndolin brings the decreased speed, okay? And same thing goes for this team down here. We have Razelvarg bringing the increased speed, Gwyndolin's bringing the decreased speed. Then I had brought in Ugo for block buffs and decreased defense. And because we're putting up so many debuffs, Kantra works really, really well with this team. Kantra is a really good fit for her. Now, I think I probably would switch out Ugo and Mythrala for someone else. And you can see that I did just that in the next team. This team, I don't know the final damage. I know that it was over double. We were over 100 million, and we were around turn 140, and then Plarium updated the game, and I couldn't see the damage screen. It made me relog back in. So I don't have final numbers on the Cantra team, but I know that it was a big improvement. But a big part of that is Razzlevarg, okay? One of the main questions you guys have had is, what kind of damage does Razzlevarg do in comparison to Gwyndolin? And the answer is a ridiculous amount more. You should not consider Gwyndolin to be a damage dealer. She more fills that role of Nikmothar than Razzlevarg or Newt. She's not the damage dealer. You're going to get a little bit of damage out of her, but she's not the damage dealer. Now, after that, I said, well, what could we do to improve this team? Okay, I really wanted to get a reviver in there because I didn't think the team ran the whole time. I have no way of knowing because of the maintenance that came in and made me relog in without being able to see the damage screen, which I don't understand. Like, I get that it's forcing me to relog back in because the game updated, but why prevent me from seeing the damage or lock it in? I was pretty frustrated about it. Either way, it happened to be a good opportunity to get my new personal best on Brutal Hydra. And that is this team here. And I think that this is the perfect Hydra team. I really do. I think this is the perfect Hydra team. You have Razzlevarg bringing increased speed, and he does a really good damage, and he has cruelty. Now, I have multiple champions with cruelty here, but I also think that that's not a bad thing, because then every decapitated head will get that decreased defense from cruelty. All of the active heads will get that, and you have multiple different affinities in order to get that. The only question to me is, should I switch it for one or the other? I don't think so, because I use them in other areas of the game as well. Like Mikage is in my hard Fire Knight team. She needs the cruelty for that game mode. You know, Razzlevarg might go in there. I'm going to work on that and see if that works. Actually, maybe today. Gwyndolin is then bringing the decreased accuracy and the decreased speed. Uko is bringing the revives, the block buffs, the decreased attack. Michinaki is stripping buffs, bringing Hex, decreased defense. Obviously, Shamail's cleansing and doing damage. And Mikage is extending your buffs, extending the debuffs. She has the ally attack. 450 million on Brutal. Let's come over here and see that team. I wasn't about to not. You know what I mean? I wasn't about to ignore my personal best and try to get the run in the video for you guys, because I did this on my phone while the baby was sleeping, okay? But you can see here, Razzlevarg did 123 million. I reached the turn limit with this all the way to 1,500 turns, okay? Mikage did 27 million. Gwyndolin, you can see in comparison to Razzlevarg, it's not close. Now, Gwyndolin would be great with Brimstone, but I do have Brimstone with Michinaki, so maybe Gwyndolin would be great with Phantom Touch. Since she's getting so many extra turns, so many extra attacks, I will definitely try to get, a blessing on her, but this is my new Brutal team. Like, this is not a team that's just for the video. This is my new Brutal team. And you're going to see in Gwyndolin's build, there's a couple things that I have to increase her damage output, which I'm pretty excited about. All of these other champions were just in the gear that I already had them in. But obviously, if you have these champions, you can make this team and it will be very good. The other two teams that I suggested as well are also really good. And just to clear up some things, no, Gwyndolin should not be in your arena teams at all. She has no business there. She's not a damage dealer. Her debuffs are not important. I don't see any reason to use her in arena. She could be good in various Curse City content, just because she gets so many turns, but I think you would need to put her in a stun set in order to make the most out of that. So that's a good transition into the gearing, which I'm really pumped to show you. Okay, now on to the builds. We have Lady Mikage here. I kept her in this Form 1, and I prioritized her ally attack, obviously. I wanted to show you her build. I do have her very fast. Is that necessary? No, but if you want to replicate like the damage, then yes. You want to be however fast you can make her, and then about 350 accuracy. Okay, that's a good point to be at for Brutal Hydra. I do have a little bit of crit stats on her, but you know, that's not really that important. Okay, the Razzlevarg here, I have him built like an arena nuker, and I'm not going to try to say this is like free-to-play friendly, but if you're an endgame player, you should be starting to be able to get these type of stats. 6.3k attack, that's something that I actually want to work on. I want to be able to get him higher, and now with the new Ascension bonuses, I can hopefully rework this, but I don't have any just yet. I'm still at 2. I'm going to go farm that today, probably. So that will hopefully get changed over to attack percentage at some point. But I also have attack percentage on these crazy gloves here, okay? I mean, would it be nice to have an offense set and offense gloves? Sure, it'd be nice. But it's just not possible some of the time. Like, you see the stats that I'm getting here, and that's with offset pieces, okay? But I think that what's most important on Razzlevarg is the speed. You want, if you're going to do brutal with good damage, you want to be over 250 speed, and then you want to put as much damage on him as possible. Do you need him in Savage? No, not necessarily. Is it nice to have? Yes. I will say, I think my favorite build of him, though, was in Provoke, okay? I'm going to save Gwyndolin for last, so hang in here till the end of the video. We have Michinaki here. This is my normal build on him in Relentless and Perception. He probably could have more damage, but it's not bad, you know, and the 94%, it is what it is, guys, okay? A lot of times he's in a team with a crit rate buff, and so I don't have him at 100% crit rate. Uko, I do have in Provoke. Is that necessary? No. Is that a good build? Yes. And then again on the boots, hopefully I can change this Ascension to speed or HP percent, defense percent, something else. On him, again, you're going to see that 250 speed mark. He's in the accuracy range, all of that. When you're running him on auto, you have to turn off this ability. Turn it off. And then it will always be available when you go to need the revives, because otherwise he'll just do it and put increased speed on everyone. And that is just a waste of a turn. You're bringing increased speed with Razzlevarg. If you don't have another increased speed champion, like if you don't have Razzlevarg, you don't want to use your Lydia, then you could leave this on maybe, but it's not efficient. It's not efficient. So then we are going to have Inquisitor Shamail. This is my damage build of Shamail. And I just don't want to sugarcoat it, you know? I want to show you the build, okay? His base attack is low, so 5,400 attack is actually pretty reasonable. He's got a giant pile of crit damage, and he's kind of slow. I would actually love to get some resistance in here on him, because he does get targeted sometimes, but with the decreased accuracy and a little bit of resistance, it's actually kind of hard for Head of Mischief to strip your buffs, like harder than you would think. And last but not least, we have, my opinion, the best build of Gwyndolin, okay? This is almost 100% crit rate, almost. I couldn't make it work. I could not make it work in order to get the stats that I was looking for, and she's a little bit slower than what I want, okay? She has 4,500 attack, which is not great, I will say, but since she's not going to do a giant pile of damage anyway, why focus on her attack stat? So 238 speed, again, I want to get that up to that 250 mark or higher. I do have some crit stats, so we can get a little bit of damage out of her, and then of course the accuracy. I do have her booked for this, and her masteries are pretty important, I will say. I think that this is the best case for the masteries, but if you have changes, let me know. I didn't want to use War Master because she has the triple hitter A1. So I put Giant Slayer on there, and that's where the majority of her damage is coming from. I came over here to Stoked Fury. After doing the run, I don't know whether that was correct or not, but I also don't know what other mastery I would choose here. I guess we could skip this cycle of violence and just go Kill Streak into Giant Slayer, and then take another tier 2 over here. Or excuse me, whatever this is. That's not tier 2. Tier 4. I just don't know what I would take, okay? It would be great if I could get Master Hexer, but I would have to then give up something else. So I don't know. I don't want to give up Methodical because she's getting so many A1s. That's a lot of extra damage. And as it turns out, increasing the duration of her buffs is actually really good. But also, I would like to increase the duration of the decreased speed. So, pros and cons, okay? Again, just going over this team to wrap up the video here, 1 second. The team was so synergistic, I can't even explain to you how good this team works together, okay? Like, if you want more damage out of your Hydra teams, you should have someone with Phantom Touch, someone with Brimstone, someone with Cruelty. You should have at least decreased defense, if not also weaken. You should have Hex, you should have increased speed and decreased speed, you should have ally attack. Like, all of the things that this team is bringing is clutch to getting the damage out of them that we did. All right, now, let me know, harass me in the comments. It's fine if you hated this build and the gear is inaccessible for you, all of that stuff. But I promise you, here's the MtgJedi guarantee. Go build this team on your account with your level of gear. I guarantee you this will be your highest brutal damage. I guarantee you. Prove me wrong. Tell me all about it in the comments below. And if you appreciate this content, the #1 thing you can do is hit that like button so that it gets to more people. Thanks for watching. I'm MtgJedi. Go check out some other videos.